Hey everyone, this is Ben with RegisteredNurseRN.com, and in this video I'm going to talk about researching your professors. Now, as a nursing student or a college student, if you're not doing this right now, you are potentially missing out. This is a huge thing. I always recommend to everyone, research your professors before you sign up for the class if you can. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why you need to research your professors. Then I'm going to give you some proven strategies that I have personally used and my wife has used to research professors before we actually signed up for a course. So let's get started talking about this. First of all, why should you even research a professor? Like, what's the big deal about it? Well, what happens when you go to college is that whenever you're signing up for a course, a lot of times you'll look through the course catalog, you may work with an advisor, but you'll have to take the core courses like the history, the English, and all that for a 4-year degree. And you may have some elective courses, and then you may have those specific courses for nursing school or whatever your major is. Well, when you look at those courses, it usually says the course time, the instructor, the course number, and all that. Well, you can look because, say it's history, for example, there might be 4 or 5 different professors for that history course that you can take, but some may be good, some may not be good. So by researching your professors, you're going to find out, first of all, how you can avoid some headaches. And that is important because there are some professors out there, they think the whole world revolves around them. They think you don't have any life outside of school, you have no family, you have no life, you have no job, and that they can just heap on you endless number of assignments. They can make tests ridiculously hard. There'll be those professors that say something like, no student ever gets above a B in my class, and so forth and so on. Well, that can give you a lot of headaches and stress, and by comparing different professors, you can weed out the really bad ones and avoid a whole lot of headaches. Secondly, you can know what to expect before you go into a course, because a lot of times when you research a professor, you'll find out what they typically require for assignments and how the course works, whether they're easy, they're difficult, and so forth. That can help you plan your semester out when you're doing your organization and your time management and everything else, and you can say, okay, this course should be relatively easy. I know exactly what's expected here. This course is going to be more difficult. So you can use that to better manage your time and reduce stress. And then finally, you can increase that GPA, and that is really important because by taking the professors who get better ratings, who students tend to do a little bit better in those courses, you're probably going to get higher grades, which translates to a higher GPA, which may translate to increased potential for scholarships and maybe a better standing with employers after you graduate. So definitely there are a lot of reasons why you should research your professors. Now, what are some strategies that you can use to do this? Well, here's some strategies I've used. First of all, RateMyProfessors.com. That site is awesome. I use that site all the time during college, and my wife used it as well. We would literally set out the manual, the course catalog, and we would just write out all the instructors, and then we would go one by one and look up their rating on Rate My Professors. And this site is really useful because it allows students to rate. I've rated several. And you can go on and you can say whether the class was easy or difficult. I think it's on a 1 to 5 scale. You can leave comments and say, this teacher's awesome, really funny. I learned the material a lot. You have 3 exams and this and that and so forth. And you can read through those comments and see what the class requires, how students are perceiving a certain professor, and whether they think they're hard, they're easy, and so forth. That helps out so much. I have avoided so many bad professors just by using this site alone, and just really, I would highly recommend you use it. Now, if it's a new professor or something like that, they may not have a rating on there, so it doesn't work for every single professor. Not every professor's on there. And sometimes when you take a course at the upper level, for example, in your last semester or 2 of nursing school, there may be only 1 professor that teaches it. So whether they're good or bad, you're going to have to take them anyway. But at least you'll have a heads up and you'll know what's expected. So RateMyProfessors.com is an awesome site. Number 2, contact that professor directly if you have a question or if you have a concern. And a lot of students will do that. I remember I took a legal environment class, and I remember the professor was like, hey, a lot of students have been emailing me before the class started asking about whether they can use an older edition of the book. The answer is yes, you can use this edition, so forth and so on. So you can contact the professor ahead of time. Now, don't nag professors because no one wants to get bombarded with a million emails asking silly stuff, but If there's a genuine concern you have, or if you want to ask for a copy of the syllabus or something like that, you can contact that professor. A lot of times on the university page, they'll put their email. So if you have a concern or question, if it's a new person, you can't find a rating for them, you might could ask them, I was wondering how the semester is going to work, or wondering if you have a copy of the syllabus yet, or whatever. All right, next, again, talking about that syllabus. A lot of times, some universities will actually put the syllabus for every single course they offer online. I know Liberty University, that's a Christian school, one of the biggest schools in the nation actually. They have online and offline programs. They have a nursing program. But Liberty University a lot of times will you can go and look up the courses and actually see the syllabus for the course and find out how the grading is going to work, what assignments are required, and so forth. And that's helpful so you can get a jump on buying textbooks, so you can find out what's required again when you organize and rearrange your schedule, so you'll know what you're getting into. Next, you can ask students, and that's important too. A lot of times I would ask students, like, who did you take for history, or what about this teacher? Have you taken this professor, or whatever? And you'll find out that a lot of your students will give you information that can really help. They'll be like, oh yeah, I took them, man, they're hard. Or, oh yeah, this professor, all you have to do is study those PowerPoints and you'll get an A every time, or whatever. And so that's really important to try to network a little bit, talk to students, find out what's required. That's where some of these organizations and so forth in college can help, because it can help you meet people and you can find a wider circle of friends and so forth, and find out about which professors are good and which ones you want to stay away from. And then finally, another strategy you can use, you can always audit a course, or maybe go into a course and just ask the professor up front. Maybe you're taking it next semester, go into it a semester early and say, hey, I'm taking this class next semester. I'm really wanting to make sure I do well, and I'm even thinking about studying and kind of researching this material a little bit ahead of time. Could you give me a syllabus, or could you help me out a little bit? A lot of times they'll do that. And of course, if you fully audit a course, you can actually sit and sometimes you can take the exams and do everything, and it doesn't count as a grade when you audit usually. But a lot of universities do charge a fee to audit a course, so financially it may not be worth it. But those are some strategies that you can do to research and find out exactly what you can expect from the professors that you take in nursing school or in other college courses. So this is a really simple tip, but it can really pay off. I hope that helps. Please consider subscribing to our channel or sharing this video, and have a great day.